sensory proprioceptive activities visual pack can be used as a visual strategy to teach a learner ways to self-regulate their proprioceptive system. First, what is a proprioceptive system? It's a part of our sensory system that informs us of our body position in space. It allows us to know where our joints are positioned, the amount of force against our body, and the effort our muscles need to exert at any given time. Now let me explain what self-regulation means. It is what a learner can do without the help of others to increase or decrease their alertness in order to respond appropriately to the stimuli around them. To get an idea of how the proprioceptive system works, imagine closing your eyes and having someone move your arms extended out in front of you. Your eyes are closed so you can't see your arms, but you can feel that they are outstretched. While they are outstretched, imagine someone placing 5-pound weights in each hand. This would signal your proprioceptive system to make one of two decisions. 1. Let your arms fall to your sides due to the increased force. Or 2. Contract your muscles with greater effort to match the force of the weights. Everyone relies heavily on this sense throughout the day to keep track of what our bodies are doing. Proprioceptive input is gained through heavy work, meaning using our joints and muscles in activities such as pushing, pulling, and carrying. This type of input helps the body to know where you are in relation to your desk, bed, or table in a room, as well as helps you to navigate through a dark room at night without bumping into furniture. The sensory proprioceptive activities cards are used in any setting where the learner may need help due to feeling restless, anxious, keyed up, or need an activity to regulate their alertness to what is going on around them. Let the learner choose an activity card that they feel will help them in that moment. When the learner is able to choose the activity they know will be most helpful to them, it allows them to exercise their independence, decision-making, and self-regulation skills. Introduce your learner to the activities while they're feeling at their most regulated state. Talk through each of the cards and how they can be used. Ask them if they want to have a turn to explore them. Tell the learner they can use them when they are feeling out of sorts. Place them in an accessible location and show your learner where they are. On the first few occasions when the learner is displaying the relevant behaviours, seeking or avoiding, prompt and model the use of the sensory proprioceptive activity cards. Model verbally and with gestures as if you are the dysregulated person. For example, it looks like your body needs help regulating right now. This is when we can use the activity cards. Let me go get them. Take them to the learner. At first, you hold the cards and lead the activity, asking, which one should we do first, while flipping through the pages. If the learner is too distracted to start, the carer can say, I might do this one first, and start the activity on the card. As the carer starts the behaviour, they should verbalise what they are doing. For example, if the carer picked the bear hug card, they should give themselves a bear hug by wrapping their arms around their own body, followed by, I'm feeling a little bit more regulated now, then offer the learner a turn. The first few times, the activity might end here without the learner having a turn, and that's okay. Place the cards back where they were. This has achieved that the carer has shown the learner an option to feeling calmer and more focused. Continue this process each time the relevant behaviour occurs. The learner should start to participate a little more each time. If not, ask them, what would enable you to feel regulated right now? Doing bear crawls, pushing a cart full of books, jumping on a trampoline? Or maybe the learner is unable to focus because they need less input. In this case, the carer could ask them, how about doing some yoga poses or chewing gum? The sensory proprioceptive activities pack can be presented on a choice board or on a binder ring. When presenting the learner with the visuals, give them a verbal direction of pick one or which one, then allow the learner to do the activity on the card. One example is if a learner is crashing into furniture instead of doing their homework. The carer can place a choice board or binder ring next to the learner or in the learner's hand, while stating, Pick one. Another example is sitting at the table to do their homework and not being able to hold the pencil strong enough to write a sentence. The carer can give the learner some proprioceptive activity choices to pick from. The sensory proprioceptive activity cards can be used throughout visual schedules as a preventative for learners who tend to be hypersensitive, overreact, or hyposensitive, underreact. For example, a carer could add squeeze a stress ball before doing homework or jump on a trampoline before having to sit through dinner. Be creative and have fun when looking for ways to help a learner be proactive in overcoming their dysregulation. Some everyday activities that could help a learner are vacuuming, raking, shoveling snow or dirt, carrying groceries or laundry, climbing a tree or playground equipment, crawling through a playground tunnel or under chairs. These are all considered heavy work. Other ways to achieve proprioceptive regulation are playfully wrapping the learner in a blanket and applying deep, pleasant pressure or giving them a massage. Remember, if a learner is a bit more sensitive to proprioceptive input, it's important to give them just the right challenge so that it is manageable and achievable. Input to the muscles and joints can be both calming and alerting. Input can be provided via resistance activities, weight-bearing activities, moving heavy items, or from deep pressure input. Provide proprioceptive activities at regular intervals throughout the day to help the learner stay regulated. Provide opportunities for the learner to naturally receive proprioceptive input. For example, carrying a pile of books to another room, putting away toys, or wiping tables. Just as we need to eat more than one meal a day, we also need to regulate more than once a day. The amount of proprioceptive input the learner needs can change from one day or one activity to the next. For some learners, sensory input is necessary in order to perform the next activity. For example, they may need to jump on a trampoline before sitting down to do their homework, just like we may need to have a cup of coffee before we start working, or how we need to go for a run after work in order to make it through our evening. Important. What makes one learner feel calmer may upset another learner. Consistency is key. The activities should be closely supervised and age or ability appropriate for the learner to keep them safe. If you are unsure if the activity is appropriate for your learner, check with their OT or physician to verify.